So I will get to why we're here for the second time, of course. So anyway, of course, you guys know that Black Friday happened last week, the day after Thanksgiving, as it always does, right? So anyway, there was supposed to be this big blackout economic boycott due to a lot of things that's going on in the country regarding the Trump administration, getting rid of DEI and things like that. Of course, you guys know that it started with Target. They were being boycotted due to rolling back their DEI things. And so I guess somehow Black people in America, I don't say specifically Black Americans, because I don't know if it's just a Black American thing, but decided that Target would be the target. And of course, a lot of other people jumped on it, but then you have people like your Pastor Jamal Bryant, your Al Sharptons, your Tamika Mowrys, and those people pretty much, taking a helm of boycotting Target. And so again, this particular Black Friday, people weren't supposed to be shopping at major corporations. I just listed them again: Target, Walmart, and Amazon, just to name a few. But of course, it says that, in fact, there were record online sales to the tune of almost $12 billion, breaking records. In fact, that was just Friday. It's not Saturday and Sunday. So as I said yesterday, it was a fail. A lot of people did not like that. But I'm like, if you're looking at the numbers, I don't know if they say numbers don't lie. But then again, I don't know. Maybe they do. But from what I saw, that it was not a success. Now, there's a lot of people saying, oh, yes, it was. Don't believe the numbers. And I don't know if we'll ever really know the truth. But to me, a success is when you can tell demonstratively that it did not work, right? Like, you can't just say, because it'd be different if we didn't live in a day and age of online, right? Where people do, Donovan, how much shopping do you do online versus going into the store, if you don't mind me asking?
A third of me is shopping. Yeah, a third.
So a third. So that's a pretty good amount, right? So if we didn't live in a day of online shopping, then you could probably say, okay, well, I didn't see very many people at the store. That probably means that there weren't people shopping or whatever the case is. But that wasn't the case. Many people shopped online. So I don't know. The boycott is still going from the 25th of November to the 2nd, which is tomorrow of December. So things may, turn around and be a little bit more differently, especially now that people know that people really didn't abstain from shopping like they said they would do. Of course, the premise is to send a message to corporate America so that they will send one, I guess, to the Trump administration. Hey, we don't like what you're doing as far as DEI, immigration things, and, Black women losing jobs, just a whole host of other things that's going on. Now, I'm going to show y'all a video of a sister who, I guess she had been talking about this boycott for a while, and somebody got in her comment section and pretty much said that Blacks are too weak to participate in the boycott or to keep it going nevertheless. So I'm going to show you this video, then I'm going to show y'all another one.
Apparently, Black people are too weak to uphold the economic blackout. That's what somebody said on the video that I made a couple weeks ago about us doing the blackout and only shopping small local business and Black-owned business. Now, first thing I want to say is this is one of the many reasons why it is difficult for Black people to come together, because you have two varying degrees and spectrums of hope and community and togetherness. You have one side that says we can never come together and do it because we have crabs in the barrel mentality. Then we have one side of the spectrum where we believe that we can do it collectively instead of just individually, right? And this is because we have seen throughout historical movements created and upheld by Black people, such as the Civil Rights Movement, such as the Black Panthers and the Malcolm X's movement, right? And how when we come together collectively, we oftentimes get the change that we want. We've seen it recently with the Target and us not shopping in Target no more. I don't know about y'all, but the Target around my way, shit ain't booked and busy like it used to be at all. This is heartbreaking to me that somebody would make said statement about us. And I don't know where this person is from, if they are Black American and or they are in another country such as Africa, somewhere in Africa. I don't know. I don't think we're going to fold. I think we're going to do just fine. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
Okay, so that particular sister is taking exception.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop it right there so we can go ahead and get this thing started. Breakdown Friday. We up in here. PC, go ahead and get your thing off. What up, man? He back. Hold on. Let me do it right. PC, back. What you got to say, my brother?
All right. First of all, don't boycott this show. Make sure y'all actually like, subscribe, and share. All right. Because that's the best thing Black people boycott is each other. So, listen, man, I'm tired of this. First of all, people who don't know history shouldn't sprout out history to try to verify a point of view. You know what I'm saying? we get changed. Yeah, but do you know the times that they were in? They were in times of real exclusion. Black people couldn't go certain places. Now legally, there's no place legally black people can't go. Of course, we have sundown towns and places that is dangerous for black people to go, but that comes with knowing those particular territories or areas that you're dealing with. But to listen to, like, why Target? I'm really focused on that because I guess they want to make a dent in one major retailer, but it's extremely short-sighted. And over the last 20 years or so of all these flash in the pan boycotts, what we've seen is whatever people don't do on Monday, they'll do on Tuesday. So if they boycott something on Monday, Tuesday, they're going to re-up and get that. That business doesn't lose any money. That business doesn't lose any productivity. That business actually tends to make more money because they will raise the prices on whatever was on sale. Therefore, you got to pay full price for something that you probably would have had like a 10% or 15 to 20% discount on at the time you decided to boycott. So, and let's be clear about something else too. Black people weren't all together during the civil rights movement.
Man, don't you try to kill her dreams.
But, less than 3%, 2% of the black population engaged in the civil rights movement.
PC, what about the Malcolm X movement?
Bruh, camera angles are gold when you want to talk about positive propaganda. And I salute them for doing that. But 125th Street wasn't filled out like Madison Square Garden when the Knicks are playing and they're actually worth a damn in New York City. It just wasn't. And you talk to some of the people that were there during that time and they'll tell you that. So this whole revisionist history while not understanding the history or the historiography of the time, and historiography is even understanding, like, in that moment what mattered in that moment, the environment and knowing the terrain that you're dealing with, knowing the socio-economic and political climate that you were dealing with at that particular time. That those things, black people weren't as pacified as they are right now. Black people, there was no black middle class back then. They created a black middle class entitled only to get black people out of this whole concept of being in rebellion and fighting and moving forward in terms of, like, collectively as black people in opposition to the American government establishment, corporate American government establishment in the society. If you watch the, what was it? It was illustrated beautifully on that film, the Keenan Ivory Wayans film, I'm Going to Get You Sucker, when he went to the people's, I forget what they call it, with like the People's Revolution or some stuff like that. And he said, yeah, Whitey was slick. We went in with guns and came out with jobs, and during that time, black people said, all right, y'all, shit is over. All right. And now you can't even get black people to sacrifice leisure and all that other stuff to educate their own children. Great breakdown, by the way, the other day, Joe. I peeped it. We were, and that's what these are right now. This here is like a short. Let's hurry up, do this quick little boycott real quick. Send our message. Let our voices be heard. They're gonna fill our economic devoid or whatever, and then let's get back to partying. Let's get back to the life of leisure that we love so much. Let's get back to our life goals of being entertained and traveling and fine wine and dining and shopping and all those different things. For the fellas, I don't know what they, consider leisure other than sports. You know what I'm saying? Because I never really hear men talk about traveling. Like, I like to go travel. I never really hear men talk like that. But I know that we have our own indulgence. So what I'm saying is, it's bullshit. Stop wasting our time. Listen, I'm not doing, because I honestly did do those boycotts back in the day. Y'all remember I was gung-ho. I was like, fight the power, and I wasn't eating at certain establishments. And I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm the only motherfucker here not eating at these places. Not. I'm the only person that decided not to go shopping at this place, this locale. I'm the only person that decided that I was going to be down with whatever the movement of that moment was. So, man, the hell with all that. You want to do real institutional change, then there has to be institutional changes involved. And furthermore, what are you going to replace Target with when Target employs so many black people?
Man.
So what are you going to replace that employment value that people get that work at Target, you know, that are living off of that income, that need that as part of their, you know, living wages and things that, what are you going to do for those people? Do we even do deep dives anymore in regards to like the end result, the critical thinking, pros and cons of how these things turn out and the ways they work? Do they even know that during the bus boycott that we always talk about, the Montgomery bus boycott, that was actually pushed heavily by the state government and the state police, that the state police was stopping some of those Negroes from getting on those buses because they themselves wanted to be able to integrate and bring black dollars into, like, they don't understand, like, for the longest, black people have really gotten tired of fighting. Where's that song? Where's that line in Color Purple? I've been fighting all my life. You know, what you see now is Negroes are tired. So I'm gonna land my plane right there, man.
Hey man, y'all, welcome back to Breakdown Friday. Joseph Ward, Patrick Irvin, Professor Carl Tone Jones is back up in the building. We here, man. We here breaking this thing down, talking about this another failed boycott or blackout that was supposed to happen for Black Friday going into Cyber Monday. And from my understanding, overall, especially online, there were record sales for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, specifically online sales. They were record sales. So that's where you get in the video somebody what they're assessing, are black people too weak to actually participate in boycotts? And we're talking about boycotts again because we want to make sure we bring some understanding. And PC already laid the foundation for what we're getting into, because we don't understand a lot about ourselves, about movements, about organization, about trying to stick it to the man. Like, we keep doing the same thing over and over. It's like, I don't get it. Like, why? And the young lady in the video, this young lady, she's very emotional, very, very, very emotional talking about these boycotts, right? Because you're talking about something that was not organized. Black people did not organize anything. All black people said is, we're going to black out and we're going to boycott Target. And PC, to answer your question, why Target? Because Pastor Jamal Bryant told them to months ago. And that was predicated off of from my understanding, a broken promise from Target, because Target was supposed to fund some aspects of the black community. And when the DEI happened, Target backed out. So black people and Jamal Bryant said that we're going to boycott Target and all these things here. And so that kind of spilled over into this Black Friday, and that, you know, they're targeting Target and all these other businesses, you know, just to go back days later and spend their money, you know, at full price, like you said. But
man, need to boycott these charismatic leaders.
Man, yeah, okay. But it's like, it's, you know, once again, black people are at this crossroad doing this thing, same song and dance, same emotion, same this, same that, same this, same that, haven't learned from anything in the past. Like, the young lady she's emotional. She don't know what she's talking about. Like PC said, like, the civil rights movement was not the bulk of Black America. The Nation of Islam was not the bulk of Black America. Black Panthers was not the bulk of Black America. Any type of these movements were small segments of the population.
Can I say something about that Black Panther thing? That black people who don't study any history the Black Panthers stopped being about black people very early on in their movement. First of all, the Black Panthers only had like a 6-year reign. When we talk about them, they only did their thing for like 6 years before things started falling apart because of all the infiltration and the drug abuse from some of the leaders and things of that nature. They only did their thing, but they were social. They were trying to be a part of the international socialist movement. They were trying to become part of the international. That's why they identify as comrades and use words like proletariat and things of that nature. It wasn't even a black movement after a while. Hell, half of the members were no longer even black after a while. People need to really do their research.
Man, she ain't gonna do her research. She mad.
And then the ones that didn't work for J. Edgar Hoover, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm getting sad.
But and of course we're gonna let the video play a little longer to see what Demetria K and the gentleman have to say about it as well. But Pat, what's your thoughts on what the young lady was talking about the failed boycott and just the overall conversations about these boycotts that are supposed to happen that never really happened?
I'm still trying to. I was Googling the Malcolm X movement.
Oh, it happened in 1776.
Oh, okay.
That was Malcolm Xavier.
It was the Malcolm Xavier Little movement. Or was it maybe she confusing Malcolm X with Professor X.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, hey, if you know, you know. So I don't know. I'm trying to, the whole thing is crazy to me because we don't know what boycotts are for. Clearly, we don't know how to use them, which goes into us not knowing what they're for. Clearly, and then you run into this component of. She said the boycott against Target was successful because there was less foot traffic. Wasn't the boycott supposed to be to get them to restart their DEI initiatives?
I don't know if it was to get to restart the DEI, but it's supposed to be a fallout from DEI and something to make them hurt because of their broken promises.
And again, I could be wrong, but the last I checked, though, I thought, and I could be wrong, that it was to get them to change course in the direction they were going as far as DEI goes and to address some of those broken promises. To my knowledge, they haven't done any of those things.
Hence boycott. So
less foot traffic was never like, why are we measuring that? That's not the goal.
Hold on, Pat. Hold on, Pat.
We listen and we don't judge.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I judge. All right. Nah, the goal. So, and then you look at and so what ended up happening with that was even a mixed bag. Where's your analysis of that? With all of the black producers that weren't able to be in the store, or all of the people that have been laid off. Not even because of the boycott. Target went through a bad turn. The boycott was a part of it. Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that. But the key thing here is Target fired a bunch of people, stopped holding a bunch of products, and continued doing what they were doing to cause you to boycott in the first place. So how is that a win? I don't understand where you get a W out of all of that. And then for those people that are sticking to the boycott, now you just introduced extra things into your day for no reason whatsoever.
Well, a caveat to the early stages of the boycott that was led by Pastor Jamal Bryant, and when Target's sales and their stock prices and all those things was going down, that a caveat to that was at a time where the market itself was at a low as well. So it wasn't just Target, and people were trying to spin the narrative like Target was the only one hurt. No, the overall market was low.
And that's why I said the boycott was a part of it, but the boycott was not the sole cause of that. And then black people got to remember, DEI didn't just impact black people. We weren't the only ones boycotting. I say y'all because I wasn't. I don't shop at Target, so I guess I'm on a 24/7 boycott of Target.
I shop at Target all the time.
So
only time I go to Target is if I'm going for a lady or with a lady. So
I don't. But I just so with that, it's like one, we don't. all right, if your goal is to inflict pain, you shouldn't be in the movement because you're too immature and childish. You should not be speaking because that's not a real goal. That doesn't mean anything. If that pain is meant to provoke a certain reaction, okay, cool. But if we just excited because we see less people walking around in Target, meanwhile we're not getting any closer to achieving any of the goals that we started boycotting for, then I would say that we are too immature to utilize this tool. But secondly, utilizing it on Target shows that we don't know what a boycott is for.
Hence why I say start off talking about being very unorganized and having no overall direction for it.
So it's
Again.
just so that's where I'm at with it. I agree with the comment the dude said. One, black people are too weak to boycott. We are. That's been proven time and time again. Character-wise, focus-wise, goal orientation, all of that. En masse, we are. Secondly, even if we had all of that other stuff, we're too weak of a block financially to impact Target. You just got to think about that. Like, for every 1 to 2 black people that's not going to show up at Target, there's 5 or 6 white women that's going to pull up. Or Asian women, or Indian, or Arab, or other like America is more than just blacks and whites now.
Well, you can't tell. We black people, we understand we have an impact, but we don't understand the fullness of our impact. But we also don't understand how much the other communities have grown. Because we still believe we're the second class group, like we're the second racial group in America. We still operate like that, not understanding that like we down to number 4. And if you count other immigrants, even from the continent who compete with us, we could be number 5.
Well,
go ahead, PC.
Now, just real quick, we overestimate our ability to impact or hold any other group accountable,
right?
Because we don't understand how far we slid down the ladder. Right. And Dr. Claude Anderson broke it down beautifully in like 2002. Right. When he talked about when he did the lecture in Baltimore, was telling black people we're in trouble, and if we don't finish, we're going to be a 4th class group of people in the next 5 to 10 years. So, but I'm sorry.
No, you're good, because this is why I say the 90s was the golden era of the black community. Because in the 90s, if America was viewed through 2 lenses, the dominant white one, never gonna get rid of that, and black lens. That was our last great heyday. Now you look at the America and it's viewed through the lens of Hispanic white people, still number 1. Hispanics are now number 2.
And various Asians.
And then various Asian groups are slipping up in there. Black people are not. This ain't the 1850s no more.
Well, also black people, we don't understand true racial dynamics. Of course, we've talked about that. We don't understand it on a national scale. We don't understand on the international scale because like even on like internationally, we think that if white supremacy end today, that no other supremacy would exist and it's just over and black people would be good. Not understanding that, the Asians are like the second world power. Like they sitting there like on the line waiting on white supremacy to fall. That's go ahead and take over, and then realize like Asians don't rock with us like that either.
Asian supremacy would be is next up,
and it might be cruel.
You already see how they are when y'all be going in their hair salon stores.
Asian supremacy is already now. And we only deal with white supremacy because of our status here in America. Mm-hmm. And the dominance that, is sort of the holdover effect of white power.
Right. We're behind these lines.
Yeah. If people don't understand that, they need to pay attention to 2 things. One, they need to pay attention to the growth of the BRICS nations, which is the exact competition to the American dollar and the American euro trade, alignments and agreements with dominating the oil resources around the world. And 2, pay attention to how little the American dollar is in value compared to other currencies around the world. It's shrinking. is no longer the dominant form of international currency. So, but that's just because most people don't really give a damn about getting too deep into this. This is not their life. This shit is just some, like we talk about it all the time, how we jump on some trendy shit. And because we keep jumping on trendy stuff, my bad, Joe, I'm done cussing. Because we keep jumping on some trendy stuff, we really don't understand the nature of doing deep dive, doing research. And this is why I hate the internet. So I don't hate the internet, but this is one of the things I do hate about the internet. People think a Google search is research.
Yeah.
People really think that watching somebody else explain to you what's going on is
research.
actual. Yeah. And you know, they don't even know what it's like to crease a page in a book, to write in the margins, to write questions about what you just read, because you want to follow up with doing more research on something that you might not necessarily agree with, or you want to find more source material about. Going into the index and saying, okay, where did they get this information from? Going to the library and actually finding the old information that has not been changed or updated by the digital search engines that are out there now that are changing and rewriting all the history that has taken place so far. And so not understanding how to, like the scientific method, we don't even use those anymore. It's just, we just keep throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. And that's why none of this stuff works, because we're not invested. But see, we look at it as something to do real quick that's not going to alter or change our lives. When lifestyle changes is what's going to change the outcomes eventually. So because we're not interested and because we're overly comfortable in our circumstances, we're not willing to risk any skin. How many people are willing to risk their jobs to go out on their belief because they have faith in what they're following? How many people, and the majority of the reason most people don't is because they know that the people that's with them will watch them go out and put their necks on the chopping block, and they'll stand back and watch them get their heads chopped off. Of course, they'll hashtags and talk about how messed up it is, but those same people will go to work Monday morning at 9:00 and they won't be late. So
yeah. No, but it's the, I guess the frustrating thing for me personally, I'm not going to put it on nobody else, but for me personally, is sitting back watching black people just keep going around and around on the merry-go-round. Like, you were just here last year. You expect different. You didn't do anything different from last year other than get online and say, we're going to boycott, we're going to blackout. Did the same thing the year before. Did the same thing the year before. Did the same thing. I could keep saying that I can be here for over 2 hours saying that, right? Nothing different was done rather than hoping people are black enough to boycott, are black enough to do this and do that. No organization. You had like if y'all serious about boycotting next year's, you can start today and start planning and organizing and do something real, but also come up with alternate plans to funnel the money to where black people can be growing, like building things up before you even get there. Like, I mean, it's pie in the sky stuff that we keep doing, and it's idiotic. It's crazy. It's juvenile. It's showing our arrested development. It's showing our lack of creativity. It's showing our lack of critical thinking. It's showing our inability to assess whether we're progressing or not. And we just keep doing things because it makes us feel a certain way. Once again, that young lady in that video, extra emotional about this. You have black people over here with this ideology who say we can't do it. Black people who say we can. Yeah, and neither one of them are doing it. Neither one of them are doing it. Even the black people saying we can do this. Where are their results?
But what even in that, there's a failure to understand basic human nature. That those two dynamics are always going to exist. Like they're so even to that though, like not only are those two dynamics always going to exist, but there's this whole using the excuse of, because these people think differently to me, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
You're expecting 40 million black people to boycott Target, and 40
Yes.
million black people didn't get together and talk about boycotting Target.
Yes.
You the dummy for expecting that.
But see that, but yeah, because they've been sold this illusionary position of black unity.
That's right. That's right. She learned about the Malcolm X movement.
Yeah, the Malcolm X movement, where all of the black people
Yeah.
in the whole world got together.
That's
and
where
stood
everybody was
behind
doing it.
Malcolm X.
That one for DMX. DMX stole that from Malcolm. Everybody going around doing
Yeah,
that.
like, and I bet you in her worldview, Gandhi was a friend of Martin Luther King, and I bet, like, what are we? But that's
he was there too.
That's the illusion, and wrestling is probably real too, for that matter. And
Gnomes.
Right. We
Black
just saw
gnome.
the movie Troll, so
Black-
mountains really are sleeping trolls.
That's
You
true.
know, hey, if we gonna go down it, we might as well go all the way down it. You know what I'm saying? We used to fly on pterodactyl backs, for that matter.
Pat, she refused to believe that her people are too weak to do a boycott, even though we ain't been boycotting nothing successfully in a long time.
Well, I bet she probably also think that she can go in the gym and bench press 300 pounds, even though she ain't never done it.
She can. She's a strong black woman.
See, I didn't say that, y'all.
I did.
I was a joke.
I did.
Well, and this is why I know it ain't serious, because they're calling it a boycott. Boycotts mean you want to basically show an entity, your absence or whatever, so that they'll change what they'll do so that you can come back to improve the relationship. If you want to really do some stuff, abstain. Decide we're never going back. I made the decision to never go back to Walmart. It wasn't based in anything more so than my allegiance to the fallen son of a friend of mine, whose son was murdered by police officers in Beaver Creek, Ohio, back in 2014. That, because of my allegiance to John Crawford II, I vowed with him, because, that was the stance him and his family took. I said, okay, no more Walmart. I've only been in Walmart one time since then, and it was due to helping out the Jackson, Mississippi water crisis, and they didn't have anywhere else to take me. But other than that, I haven't been back to Walmart to make any personal purchases, and I just refused to go. That was because I made a commitment to that. I didn't say I was going to boycott Walker. I just stopped going. And there's other alternatives. Like I saw what Jesse Jackson did back right after the election, where they took all their money out of what they say they weren't going to shop at Walmart, so they went to Sam's Club. So you go into another.
Oh, you talking about Al Sharpton when he went to Costco?
Al Sharpton. I'm sorry. Who did I say?
You said Jesse Jackson, same person.
My bad.
Yeah, one of them got a perm, one of them don't.
Al Sharpton. My bad. They do remind me of each other. But Al Sharpton and his crew, when they went to
they did
Sam's
the walkthrough
Club.
at Costco.
Oh, was it Costco? I thought it was Sam's Club.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. But it's like, listen. At the end of the day, like you said before, Joe, we didn't do any preliminary work. People want to refer back to the boycott of 1954. Well, they were all planning on carpooling anyway, the ones that were part of that. They were planning on walking to work. They all went out and bought bicycles to get back and forth to work. Prior to, yes. Matter of fact, even Rosa Parks being having that situation was planned. You know what I'm saying? They planned the whole thing. It wasn't impulsive. It wasn't reactive. Right. It wasn't reactive like that. It wasn't reactive. And the problem that I have with all this stuff right here is this is emotional, and they're trying to catch the heartstrings of people, and that don't work, because after a minute, people are like, man, what am I doing this for?
Man.
And then you look at the fact that we don't have no stick-to-itiveness. Like, too many of us watch these documentaries. We watch too many of these these movies that remake history, and we listen to, and we think that just because the emotion hits us when we watch those films, that's going to carry over to when the work gets hard out here in the real life, in the real world. As a I'm sorry.
No, go finish your statement.
As a filmmaker, I can tell you one of the things I studied was how to evoke emotions through utilizing different musical interludes and different cadences and different rhythms and things of that nature in order to build up a person's emotions watching the film. That's part of cinematography.
Right. So check this out. This will be one of the young ladies giving her target experience because she did not participate in the blackout. She ain't black.
Show y'all a video of a sister talking about her swag bag.
A swag bag, starting with the bag itself. It also had this iridescent piece of fabric. Then it had this glittery greeting card, and the cutest thing in the bag had to be this purple metallic-y mini shopping bag. It also came with a deck of Uno cards, a pack of Gems touchable shampoo, and also this e.l.f. lip oil, which is super cute. But y'all, tell me why I got to the bottom of my bag and I actually won a prize. Like, the way I crashed out in this store is high-key embarrassing, but baby, I have no care in the world because I did not just win any prize. I got the Ninja slushie, and baby, it was definitely worth the waiting outside in the cold. And I was so excited, I had to call my mom and tell her that I just won the #1 giveaway. But here's the other stuff that came in the bag. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Was that Kool-Aid?
So with that,
Was that a pack of Kool-Aid?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But this
So
is
the #1 giveaway was a slushie
she said
or a
something
slushie
like
machine.
something she said slushy machine. But these are clips and commentary from the Demetri K channel. Demetri K is a contributor to the African Diaspora channel. So shout out to Demetri K. But yeah, so you got one lady who she giving her finger wag, and the other lady, she happy that she went. I mean, and of course, you know, the internet went in on that young lady because she ain't black and she ain't participate in the boycott. She ain't get the memo. So get a PC. Tell her why she ain't black.
Oh man, listen. She might not be black, but she a whole nigga. She definitely said, man, F y'all N words. Man, she definitely went there. And by the way, shout out to Brother Phil for the African Diaspora Network because he built it up to be something nice. I remember when that brother first started. Shout out to Brother Phil. But she definitely a whole N word for that one.
Don't abbreviate it now.
She's a whole nigga, man. Yo, she out here. Man, it's wild turkey out here. Yo, and it was like in the heat of all these things. But it's like this. I didn't even know it was a second boycott. Right? I didn't even know it was a second boycott.
Because we ain't had no where was the meeting? Why was the National Black People email so we can get our meeting? No text messages, no group meetings, no lines, no WhatsApps, no nothing like that.
That reminds me of something that I saw. It was like in the early 2000s. There was a video of a organization leader out in I think it might have been Milwaukee or somewhere, and he literally forgave white people for white supremacy. On behalf of all black people, we forgive you. He's like, yo,
shut up, boy. I'm gonna be real with you. With the young lady, though, I ain't even mad at her, man. I'm not mad at her at all.
It speaks to the circus nature of the whole thing, the clownish nature. And I ain't trying to take any shots at the sister Demetria, the brother that's on there with them, on her show. I'm not taking any shots at them, but I'm just saying, like, in regards to the whole notion, it ain't boycott. If you want to boycott, then you ain't serious.
So I didn't let a lot of it play, but Demetri and them was not like their viewpoints more so closely resemble ours. So.
No, you can see that. You can literally see that. Like, and y'all heard it earlier. Black people are weak. Period. At this point, we're not a weak people, but we're weak right now. We're in the weakest place.
We're weak-minded.
Well, we're at the weakest state that we've been in. It's like a body that's sick. And for whatever reason, we want to continue to consume the things that make us sicker. And so we struggle with any medicine that will not only stop what's going on, but reverse our, social political, economic health, our image, not just our image, but just us as being, we just damn that because we don't mind, like we're comfortable with them. Now let's go back to something Malcolm did say, that when they burned his house down, they bombed his house. He said a doctor came in and gave him gave him a needle, and it helps him sleep through the night. And he equated that to when a dentist is giving you Novocaine, and how even though the pain, you have pain from the teeth being pulled, the Novocaine feels good, and we like the Novocaine. We don't care for the pain because the Novocaine, we like the high off of things. When Gucci did what they did, black people went out there. They didn't boycott Gucci. They just drew a picture that was their clapback on the shirt and said, "This is what y'all look like on the shirt."
What's that thing the dude had the satisfaction, the satisfactory Negro moments or whatever?
Yeah.
That's
another
stuff.
satisfied Negro moment. Yes,
yeah, that's stupid stuff.
We clamor to that type stuff because we like telling people, we like people being told. But in terms of like actually doing something, most of us are scared of the repercussions. Most of us are terrified of the repercussions. And therefore, we only stick one toe in the water, and we're leaning back while doing it so that we can yank our foot out the water just in case we see a shark or something coming. No, you got to dive in the water. You got to get in the water. All your toes, all your feet, you got to get into your neck in the water if you want to change something up. Now, I'm going to tell you what it looked like when you really do want to change. Though, when people go back to January 6th, that's what it looked like when you want to really change some shit. January 6th. That's what it looks like, because that was the culmination. Like Pat put me onto the book. I took the book in. I forget what's the name of that book, Pat. Good.
I can't remember. I didn't read a lot of them, but I remember the book, but I can't remember the name.
So you trying to get the real, like real tactics and real results. PC, why you be doing that? Why you be trying to be real? I'm
just talking about what it looked like when people do it for real. I ain't talking about this other stuff because the January 6th thing was the culmination of all the events that led up to that.
So you're saying if you're serious about going against the government, that's what you're supposed to do rather than.
Listen, it wasn't just the federal government they went against. They went against state legislatures. They went, man, these cats plotted on kidnapping sitting governors. They pulled up at the mansion.
It was an organized movement, is what he's saying. It wasn't just
say that again.
What you saw on TV.
We didn't hear what you said, Pat. Say that. It was a what type of movement?
It was an organized movement.
Oh, you said that. You cursing. Ooh, you cursing.
Oh, my fault. I'm gonna go back on mute because PC knows how to say it without swearing at the children.
He said the O word and not orgasm.
So when we sit back and we watch, we're like, when the first thing we say, well, if they was black, they would have did this. They was black, they would have did that. No, because when black people did fight back, black people got stuff changed. You want to know how some of those policies changed in the 60s and the 70s? Because you had black people on rooftops sniping at cats coming up the black community. You want to know why some of those civil rights laws got passed? Because you had the Deacons of Defense that was actually in shootouts with the Ku Klux Klan and local sheriff offices and local police forces. You want to know why things changed? And then, because black, you got to be willing to not just lose some blood, you got to be willing to draw some blood. And black people ain't willing to draw no blood. That's why we do all these safe things. We do all these non-committal things in regards to, pushing a movement, things, and we want to call it this. Man, listen.
They follow these half-cocked appointed leaders who boule.
But they don't follow no half-cocked appointed leaders. They just are cool because the leaders ain't asking them to do anything. That's what
they call that. See, once again, you trying to be real. They call that followership.
Go ahead, Pat. I see you unmuted. You was about to jump in.
Nah, I
They don't with
unmute.
they don't. There's a wild part about it, man. They don't get it, and the problem is they never will because they don't understand what real sacrifice is. You got to be willing to lose something to gain something. And when those people stormed that Capitol building, they didn't know whether or not that those the DC or the state capitol or whatever those police officers are. They didn't know that what the response was going to be. They didn't know whether or not they were going to gun them down or whatever. But they came in force. When they came out and they were on those ranches out in Las Vegas, in Nevada, when they were out there protesting gun rights and things of that nature, they had a standoff where they made the FBI stand down. Now they did some crazy stuff. They put some children out there, so the FBI they didn't want another Waco situation or Ruby Ridge situation. They understood that, but they still had their blickies pointed at the cops, pointed at the governor. They understand, and
it wasn't the mass of white America either.
No, they actually they got an organization called the Three Percenters, right? Because they understood that the American Revolution was only fought by 3% of the colonial population. Like they understand that. There's the mass there. It was only fought by 3% of the population. But
you mean to tell me it wasn't 99.9% of the American population?
No.
Yeah. Well, I think PC, I think you're wrong though. Because I think anytime white people do something, they are at least 97.84532 in agreement with each other. At least.
Well, hold on. You got to use the word "I feel" because that's the word we use all the time.
Oh, that's right. We
don't really.
You know what? I'm still being wrong. I'm thinking.
I feel like.
Yeah, we do a lot of feeling, in the dark most of the time.
And you know what that means? We don't do.
Right. So a lot of what happens.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So a lot of what's happening right now.
Emotional damage.
So even looking back, right, to when we talked about the Daughters of the Confederacy, right? And if you read Dixie's Daughters, it tell you about how white women wanted to reestablish the valor of their men. So at first they had so many failed attempts at organizing, but they kept going and they would meet in different circles and different places all over the country. They started amassing, having bake sales, things of that nature. They were bringing in these people. They brought in Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee to be designated spokespeople at these particular gatherings because the South felt like they were still fighting the war. All right. They were eventually able to establish not only a power base that changed the narrative literally of what happened during the Civil War and the image of Southern white men, but they also became leaders in the academic institutions because they started producing all of the books that told the history. They got libraries out there. And we ain't even talking about the Sons of the Confederate, right? Because they did the same thing. So the Sons of the Confederacy, they did the same thing. We're not doing those things. The only thing we organize is parties, and we're not too good at that. We organize good cruises. We're not too good at that, as you saw. Now Black people are banned from, or certain music is banned from certain cruises.
Line dancing.
No, well, hey, we're good at that. But it doesn't be square dancing. But anyway,
homecomings.
No, people are getting shot at homecomings. No, we are not good at organizing too much more, but we will put our foot in organizing social events. We are not good at organizing. What did Kwame?
Barbecues.
No, man, didn't they just have a 6-year-old baby party in Memphis, where like 20 people got shot? Or 10, 10.
Swingers
only excuse.
What'd you say?
Say it, Pat.
Blacks only barbecues.
Shit.
We good at organizing those.
No, we like inviting everybody else.
Swingers parties. Swinger parties.
Swinger parties.
We're going down a nasty rabbit hole. Slippery slope here. But
we throwing something at the wall, see what stick.
Hey, we being real black people right now. PC, you the only one not black.
I threw out homecoming. If we can't get together for homecoming, what can we stick together for?
HBCU homecoming. We get together for that all the time.
And HBCUs
even though somebody did, it was a fight. The Jits was fighting and stabbing people out.
That's the Jits though. They don't really count.
Oh.
Man, did you see those dresses? Those what do they call them? Pom dresses. The chicks.
Hey, look. If you got it, flaunt it. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
you late.
Our people just are very well endowed physically, and it's no amount of clothing we could wear that could hide all of that specialness that God gave us all.
Booty cheeks have been falling out. Them little things since it snowed here in January. After the snow thawed away, booty cheeks came out. That's what we. Matter of fact, that's it. That's what we organize in debauchery.
The exposure of booty cheeks. How did we go from boycotting?
Because think about it. See, you're not following, Pat. You're not following. You're not following. See, if you boycott Target, right? Okay. And then you tell them to kiss your ass. And so in order to tell them to kiss your ass, you have to show your ass.
Oh, you gotta see it. They gotta see what they kissing. I follow.
You know
so you by boycotting Target, you put one on your ass.
So show and tell turns into the please touch museum real quick.
I'm just saying, but that's what happened when you don't organize your boycott.
No, but the boycott was organized because they had their booty meat out, and they had the boys in the cots trying. I don't know.
No.
Hey man. but it's like, but the funniness that we're doing now, it's all over the place. But that's the mindset of these people with this fake organizing and these fake events that they're doing. It's all over the place. It's nothing real. It reminds me of the time when Snoop Dogg was talking about something had happened nationally. I can't remember what it was and when it was, but something had happened nationally, and like simultaneously, at different points at different spaces in California, Heat and Game got mad and they got upset and they decided to do something about it. So they got up and started walking, and them and their homeboys just got up and started walking, and then they met at some point. Then they started talking. Then that turned to some kind of community event that happened one time, and then that. Because I think it was something that happened with racism and somebody,
Did Snoop take a bunch of kids to the police department to meet the police?
Yeah, that's it. That was it. It started walking. I know they started walking and went somewhere.
Yeah, it was a police shooting that they said.
But and so out of emotions, that was the result out of emotions. And it's like, well, I mean, we're not safe. Same thing with Kaepernick. Kaepernick had the emotions. I'm doing this to keep black people safe. Kaepernick ended up getting paid millions and millions of dollars while black people still ain't safe.
Let's be clear about the beginning of that. That wasn't, he sat down because he was mad that he got benched.
Well, and I would like to say, Kaepernick did spend some time thinking about, after he did what PC said, he thought about it. And then he spoke to his consultants,
the Marine,
and the white boy Marine. And then he thought about what his consultant said, the white boy Marine, and then he decided to change his pro-black movement to one that was more palatable for the white boy Marine. So I mean,
and what he doing now? Are black people still safe? Because he got his millions. He got tens of millions from Nike.
Yeah, well, you know what he did with that money though? Something good for black people, I'm sure. I don't know what he did with it either.
We're not safer. His bank account is safer, but we're not safer.
Well, I'll say this, right? And we've had a show before for people like, why don't y'all describe what a boycott is then? We've already done that show. We've done that show several times. Matter of fact, Joe and I did that show several times before Joe even started on the Shoulders of Giants when we was on the Freedom Train Network. That show has been done to death. So the information is out there.
They can research that.
Yeah, I will say this: you boycott your own community, not somebody else's. And we'll just leave. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I can leave that there because this is nonsensical to me. Like, this is humorous. This is entertainment.
It's us doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results because we have to do something to challenge this system.
It's kind of like being mad at somebody, so I'm going to hurt myself in the process. Well, I'm going to do something that's not going to have any effect. It's man, you mad at people that don't give a damn about you. Like, how do you really affect change with them? It don't work like that. They know that you're not going to invest in your own community. The first chance like Pat said, we don't even boycott black. We abstain in black communities. I'll never shop at that black establishment again. You see
that's what we should be doing to white folk.
You see what they did? Look at the small container of beans and rice. I'll never go back to these niggas again. Or I paid for this dashiki. They sent me this tablecloth. I'll never shop at another black. Like we will abstain from black organizations and black businesses and things of that nature. It's funny. And I was talking to an elder of mine, right? Shout out to Mama Samaki here in Philly. I was talking to her, and you know how our relationship started? Our relationship started at a pre-Kwanzaa event at the Church of the Advocate, which is a very historical. If you want to learn about civil rights in Philadelphia and the Black Power movement and things of that nature, matter of fact, even going back to the Underground Railroad, right? Look up the Church of the Advocate in Philadelphia, 18th and Diamond. Now, she was vending and she was selling some merchandise. And I saw it and I came to her and I offered to pay full price. She said, well, normally I charge this, but for you, I'll do this. I said, well, what do you normally charge? And she said, I said, and that's what I'm paying for it. I said, you didn't make this to charge me the pre-negotiated rate. You made this thing to this is your business. And as a black person dealing with another black person, the last thing I want you to do is have to cut corners for this black person to feel as though you have to make accommodations to me to sell me anything. If I don't like it, then we'll have another conversation. But that sparked off a relationship because so many black people that came to her was like, oh, I like it, but that's a little pricey. What can we do with the price?
How much it costs? That's what I'm paying. Like,
right. So go ahead, Joe. Go.
No, it was I had met a young lady not too long ago. We cool or whatever. She cooked food. So I was like, hey, whenever you cook, holla at me. So like a little bit, like a week before Thanksgiving, she made like oxtail plate or whatever. And so I asked her, I was like, how much is the price? She was like, just send me by $15, $20. I sent the 40. I sent the 40 because it's like, it's a black business. I want to support you. I think you cool. And I want to make sure you can keep going on. But I want you to see, like, you got some folk out here that will really support you. Like, you do that.
You want to see them win.
Right.
You know, I got a young Jegna in training right now under me, right? Teaching them the ropes about what it means to be a Jegna, right? He has, he made something for me. He made me this. He made me this Jegna chain. He made some other things as he's going into that area. He did, we had something that had a blemish on it. He said, well, I'm gonna make you a new one and don't worry about the cost. I don't work like that. No, I appreciated your effort and I want to show you how I'm going to invest in your effort. So I'm gonna pay you again for this new one. There's a jacket, this new one. Because that's what it looks like to invest in your community. You pay it forward. You don't look for a return on investment. My return on investment is seeing him win. And we go back to our neighborhoods. Black people started boycotting black people when black businesses were in black neighborhoods. I ain't paying for that N-words Cadillac. I ain't paying for that N-words new house. I ain't paying for this, that, and the other. I ain't looking at this. We live like this. He drive around. She drive around. I ain't paying for that. Fur coats, this, that, and the other. But that business also hires some of the kids. You ain't paying for that either, Pat?
No. I wanted to tell my story of when I did something in the community.
Go ahead.
No. PC was talking though.
No, I'm finished that because I think the point is driven home.
Yeah, man, tell your story.
So my story, right? So one time at band camp, right? I was hanging out, right, with these people. This was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
He was at band camp for real.
This kid, because I was with kids, and this kid walked up and was like, "Hey, Mr. Pat, I wrote a book. Can you read it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, well, you selling it?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm selling it." And so I was like, "Well, how much are you selling it for?" And he said, "I'm selling it for $5." And I said, $5? That's kind of light for a book. How long is it? And he pulled it out, and it was like it had been like officially like made, like a real live book. It was about 50 pages long. And it was an imaginary story of some fictional story about some journey that he had created. And it was a really good book. And after I read it, it was really good. After I read it, though, I ripped it to shreds and told him that this book ain't shit. And you ain't never going to be shit as long as you writing shit. And he went and cried to his mom. And she said, "I like the way you talk to my son." And then a few years later, he ended up writing a better book that became a bestseller. And he attributed it to me. And he said, "No, I ain't buy it." Because I told him he wasn't shit and I ain't going to buy it. Because then that would be like going back on my word. And I don't go back on my word. If I say it, I stand on it. If you want shit then, you ain't shit now.
He was a little black boy.
He was.
Hey, man.
Little colored.
Hey, man, you uplifting the youth.
that story is a joke about for all of the.
Somebody gonna clip that up.
Nah, dog. Too late now, dog. Don't come back with the pleasantry. Hey, clip it up. Put it out there. Patrick Irvin
make it go viral.
Is against little black boys that write books.
Oh my God. Somebody go clip that up, and that's gonna be.
I can't believe he ripped that boy book up. So as you said that, somebody stopped it. In.
Oh, there's a feminist out there that was waiting for that moment.
I knew it.
Hey, I'm still supporting the community. I'm giving the feminists what they need to continue to rage against the men. Hey, I'm doing my part.
Yeah, and don't forget their allies, because their allies be out there too, coming for us.
Doing my part. You're welcome.
Man, y'all stupid, man.
You're welcome.
Hey, man, we got to get our stuff together, man. We already know what it is. Of course, we've been doing this long enough and have enough information to realize that the masses of us are going to continue doing what they're doing, but those who really give a damn want something different, you already know what we got to do. You see what's going on around us. Don't be fooled by what's going on around us. Stay focused. Connect with people that's doing the right thing. Connect with people that's principled, that's people with character, people who actually about building the community. Do what we be doing on a regular basis, building, grow with others. Cause I mean, it's wild out here, man. And we're not in. We don't have the energy to be trying to convince nobody to do nothing else. We're just gonna drop the information. If it resonate, rock with us. If it don't, it is what it is. But you're either gonna win as a race or you're gonna lose as a race, whether you want to be in the race or not. So fatlifestation.com, y'all already know what it is. Hit it up, listen to it, internalize it, take it home with you. Let your grandma listen to it.
Especially little black boys that got
their books ripped up. Yeah. Book ripper. Hey, man.
Pointed at you, Joe.
I know.
Oh, I did? Oh, shit. It was over
mirror vision. Mirror vision.
Oh, damn.
Mirror vision.
Hey, man. Joe.
Hey, man, VPAX. Go to VPAX. Hey, that little boy, get your revenge by going to VPAX.org, reading everything on there, and then write Pat a long email telling him that the website ain't good, but you got to read everything first, and everybody else go to vpatch.org because you're gonna mess around and learn something about Black history because it's a whole lot of information on that.
And do that. Go to the website and rip it up and tell me I ain't shit and the website ain't shit and it ain't going. But you got to go there first. Go there, and then you can send me whatever nasty emails you want. Send them to whatever email Joe got listed on his channel.
Yep. And then go to my website. See it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Check me out. Support. Watch the videos. Check out my nonprofit information, all that. And then there's if you want to support us, all that information is in the description. I got my OnlyFans, PC OnlyFans in there as well. I convinced PC to get on OnlyFans, so he doing it now. So we out here, Pat tripping, man. Pat told me he dark work. He wanna be on OnlyFans with nothing showing. So
yeah. I mean, I got OnlyFans. It's everything is done with all black. There ain't no lights on. So
hey man, if you ain't slanging, you ain't banging. There you go. There it is.
I ain't got pretty feet neither. So
you do feet videos? Oh
yeah, but I do them in the dark. So
dang, I'm from the knees up. Dang, I'm tripping. I'm doing too much work, huh?
You are.
Hey man, y'all be cool, man. Stay black. Get right. Be right, get your mind right. Make sure you go out to your communities and actually do something constructive in real life. Don't just be online sitting and talking, man. We love y'all. Make sure y'all catch the next video coming up. Support my homeboys. Peace out. Only